Colin Quinn is here in studio.
Good morning, guys.
Hi, Col.
Hi.
Look at that mic is like all limp in front of you.
I'll fix the mic.
Why help Colin?
Exactly.
And then you could pull it closer to his
sit closer to the
face
table,
instead of. Yeah, there you go.
You're sitting back in the middle of the room.
What are you doing, Col? I hear you're hitting up Rachel Ray after this.
Yeah, I got to head over to Rachel Ray after this and do some promos and
promoting
stuff.
the new
Constitutional.
The new. Yes. Now you've got a whole new gig going for yourself.
Yeah.
And what's this one based
This one's
on?
the one that based on what you saw, Anthony, early on.
I did. I saw it over there.
Anthony came early, almost a year ago.
Yeah, wow, that was that long ago.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Took you that long to put a Constitution show together? I would have had this together 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, right. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Nice.
And that was early on.
You'll like it now.
Yeah. Where can I see this, Col?
Oh, the Barrow Street Theater.
Yeah.
Theater.
Yes.
They spelled it wrong. They spelled it TRE, Barrow Street Theater with TRE at the end, .com.
Oh,
if you
No, I
want
think you
tickets.
spell it both ways.
Oh, all right.
Maybe that's like the English spelling or something.
Theatre.
Yeah.
It's only a block around from the corner from the cellar. I'm going head to head with the cellar. I told you that
man.
the other night, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know. Taking down the cellar.
Yep.
It's been empty every night. I performed to 2 people, and they were both waitresses. I'm like, where is everybody? I'm like, you know what's going on around the corner, don't you?
Yeah. Col.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with
Colin's
this? You're doing 5 weeks of previews at the Barrow Street Theater. Then where do you go after that? Are you going abroad with it?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No.
On the road?
I don't know yet. It's really all kind of happened very suddenly. It's been a whirlwind.
Are we getting Are we getting another multimedia experience?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. It's in preview, so it's kind of, yeah.
You don't know much about this, Col.
No, I don't. Well, I didn't expect these kinds of questions. You guys are really,
we are really.
You guys are really zeroing in, and it's starting to annoy me.
We are
I
drilling
thought I'd
you
come
here.
in, you trash unconstitutional, you trash the fact that was going on Rachel Ray, and then we move on to trashing other people that we know. I think we hit a couple of hot topics on the news. Do a little veiled racist trashing.
Veiled?
No, exactly. What the hell am I talking about?
I hate how veiled racism sounds. It's phony. I like being authentic.
I like saying the word veiled.
Yes, that is
veiled.
true. Yeah.
Sorry,
no,
guys.
of course. We're very happy for you, Colin. And
How come no Wednesday shows? Now we'll get to it.
Jesus Christ.
No Wednesday.
Is that like the theater day off or something?
No, that's
no,
what you do,
I
too.
don't know. It's actually not a bad question. That's what's so annoying about it.
You're supposed to do matinees on Wednesday.
Oh,
That's
right,
the two-show
right.
day.
No, not in the village. I'm doing matinees on the weekend if you'd like to stop by.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, it's convenient. You're in the village. You're out having a nice afternoon with the family, walking around, doing a little shopping. Then you're like, oh, let's catch a show before we head back to the PATH train.
Yeah. Is that like, that just takes up your whole life for the entire length of when you do this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's all encompassing.
Yes, it is.
No time for yourself.
There's no me time. You're right about
No you
that.
time.
I guess what? I don't want it right now anyway with this weather we've been having.
Oh, well, let's talk about the
Really is
weather.
ungodly.
What a great segue. And I tell you, this is what.
It's supposed to be April showers, not May showers.
Right.
Yeah, it's like God pissing on you, right, Carl?
Right. Oh, well. I guess that's one way to look at it. Fuck. Chipper.
I don't like these late to arrive springs and summers. It makes the summer go by too fast.
Oh, no, he's serious. That's what's scary.
By the time,
Shut up, Anthony.
by the time it gets nice, it's already almost September. And somehow the weather knows when Labor Day is because right after that, the temperature plummets.
He's got a point.
I do have a point. Yeah, well, I have opened the pool, so that's like the official start of summer, but I haven't even been able to use it because it's been a little too chilly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Big bashes.
Although I'm kind of glad, I'm very pensive about the summer, getting the pool open, because that's the real true test of whether I can uphold this little dry streak I'm on.
Oh.
I made it through, my birthday weekend.
Nice.
Things like that, parties, stuff like that. But boy, when the pool is open, it's hot out, you're out this summer, oh, it could be a little difficult.
Yeah, you'll have iced tea. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, hey, this is great iced tea.
You think Jim's going to display his new beach body at your pool?
I hope so.
I've been over there every weekend just standing there looking at the tarp on top of it with no shirt on.
Jim's going to get all inked up before the thing.
Yeah.
Got like 6 tattoos. Hi, girls.
Oh, Jim, have you ever thought of that? Maybe?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I want to get Zappa Lives.
Holy shit.
That's a good one.
Have you ever thought of
Yosemite Sam on your ankle?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Doesn't that mean gay?
No, what? Yosemite Sam on your ankle?
No, I thought was it Yosemite Sam or what cartoon character represented "Hi, I'm gay"?
Oh,
I think
it's Tweety Bird.
Well, depends on where you have it on the head of your cock. I don't know. Cartoon character gay tattoo. Okay, what is it? Trav?
I'm looking.
Travis? I thought it was maybe someone knows. Same Porky Pig.
So why do you want to do this, Travis?
Pepe Le Pew, Woody Woodpecker. No,
I don't know. I can't sleep nights.
I don't know.
So yeah, no, I have no tattoo.
No tats.
No inclination.
You
for
haven't
tattoo
even
ever.
thought about
No
what
way.
if your body gets in a fucking nice shape?
I mean, what if? When it does.
Well,
When it does.
Yeah.
When I'm totally buff, I will
I
not
can't
be
wait
any
to
tattoos.
have Jimmy over in the jacuzzi, though. It's always a fun evening.
Yeah.
When Jimmy comes over and hops in the jacuzzi and then yells at me because it's not warm enough for him.
Oh, the temperature of the jacuzzi fluctuates.
A lukewarm jacuzzi is it's better. You're better off in a fire hydrant.
It is terrible.
If you're gonna do it, Anthony.
It's upsetting.
I know.
Anthony's
No,
trying-
I finally figured it all out.
What was
It's
wrong
good.
with it?
The heater. I didn't have the settings right on the fucking heater. But now it's perfect. But again, it's going to be hard to not imbibe in the vodka cranberry
How long has it
little
been? Like a
ice
month?
drink.
Something like that? Almost a
Oh
month?
my God, it's probably been a month.
What's that?
A month of not drinking.
Oh my God! I just pulled a chip. What's that?
Very hard. What's that?
It's been a month. That's
It's
great.
difficult. It's not, well, sometimes it's difficult. Right now, I could get away with not drinking.
How do you feel in the morning when you wake up?
Oh, it's a wonderful new experience for me,
Hey.
Carl. I'll tell you. That morning, when you wake up and it's not a pounding headache, don't feel queasy.
Nobody's mad. You don't know what you said the night before.
Right,
No.
I'm not driving in. Still, perhaps if I get pulled over, there might be a problem,
Right.
kind of a thing.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, sure.
Anthony's not a bad drunk. He's not a violent drunk, or he's
No,
just
I'm the most fun drunk ever.
slightly repetitive.
Yeah, well, that's
the important thing is you're doing it on your own with your own willpower. Anyway, I can't believe you didn't have a jacuzzi. That's such a Long Island move to get that jacuzzi. You know, when I was 19,
Yes.
my friend hooked me up with this girl. She had a TR7. She was very, very
Oh.
pretty. And she had a TR7, you know. I didn't even have a car. I was like, oh, my God. She's like she was rich. She lived in Lloyd Harbor.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Nice. Nobody even knows where that is in Long Island.
Billy Joel lived there.
Ah, exactly.
Everyone knows that.
And we actually fooled around in her family's jacuzzi.
Wow.
And then I was a drunken idiot. Like I just abused her afterwards and walked her. You know, just
It's like an
treated her-
80s
I
party
treated
movie.
her like And then I saw my friend. Like I just was like, "Hey, get out of here!" Meanwhile, she was like the best thing that could have
wrong
happened in my
with
life.
you?
And then my friend, I just go up to him. I go, "Hey, man!" And the next time I saw him, like, "Sorry," and he just walked away and would never talk to me again as long as I lived.
He never spoke to you?
Just because, not even out of feelings for the girl, just out of how could you
How
blow
you
the most
fucked it up.
amazing shot I gave you?
You fucked it up. Yeah.
Was she pretty?
Oh, really pretty.
You fuck her?
Whoa! It was the 80s, of course. That's what people did.
Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
it.
like that then, Jimmy.
You banged her in the jacuzzi or no?
No, I would never do that. That's grotesque.
I couldn't.
I wouldn't.
I don't like jacuzzi water on my dick.
Who wants any
can't-
water on their cock?
I can't keep a fucking rod in the pool.
You got to get out of. You
Oh,
got. You
nobody
got to
can.
kind of
It's
hang
ridiculous.
out. It's good if they're bent over the edge of the jacuzzi.
Oh, geez, this conversation is getting crazy.
Yeah.
It's getting a little blue.
Yeah, this is what we call Morning Edge. Yeah. We're changing the name of the show to the Morning Edge.
It really is.
Yeah, we're bringing it edgy.
Pools are not really too conducive to sex.
No.
Like it sounds like a good idea. It plays well in movies, but truth of the matter is, the lubricant gets all fucked up. Pool
Put
water.
lubricant in the pool. I'm not coming
No,
to
no,
the
I'm
jacuzzi.
talking
means
about
her pussy
natural,
juice.
Oh,
natural lubricant, natural lubricant.
Yeah. You know how it is when it gets all sloppy down there.
Oh, boy.
But this won't be like this on Rachel Ray.
Oh, you better believe it.
Oh, I want to talk about that. Yeah.
She's really sexy, actually. I only met her once. I was really sexually attracted to her.
Yeah.
I could not believe how sexy her vibe was.
She's got kind of a motherly thing.
Dude, she's fucking... Yeah. She's probably such a dirty bang.
Veronica Mosey?
Yeah.
She's funny. So she goes one time, Rachel Ray, she goes, she of course, like any good comedian, hates everything she talks about. She goes from Rachel Ray. She goes, she's the kind of girl that looks like she just banged the whole frat and now she's cooking breakfast for them the next morning. And she starts acting it out.
Wow, you know what? Those girls never got respect, even for cooking, if they would bang a bunch of guys. And then they would be nice enough to like want to do something.
Yeah, no good deed goes unpunished.
Right.
Yeah,
I do remember
the ideal person, and everyone's like, yeah, we right.
I do recall a girl up in, I believe we were in
SUNY Oneonta.
Well, you know what? You're close because it was Kingston, New York.
Oh yeah, I know Kingston.
We were playing the wonderful Augie's Checkered Flag Lounge.
Oh,
wait, where's Kingston? How far is it?
Kingston's
2 hours.
A couple hours.
As the crow flies. It's nothing.
Yes, we were playing
Straight
the wonderful
shot right up 17.
Augie's Checkered Flag Lounge. We were staying at the Costello Motor Court, which was nearby.
No pool, of course.
Easy, no pool, no. and we wound up bringing a couple of girls home,
right?
Back to Costello's stuff, and of course, what transpired.
Oh boy,
fun and shenanigans and hijinks.
Hey, don't leave that part out.
I know. Oh boy. Well, she decided the next morning she got up early and she wound up getting like everybody some egg sandwiches. From the deli.
Nice girl.
And brought it back. And she was like, well, I got to go, but here you go. Thanks, God. We just took them all and like threw them around the hotel room, smashed them all, laughed that it's stuck on the wall and stuff. Because like, why would I eat that fucking whore's sandwich? Fuck her. And it's like, and everybody, yeah. Meanwhile, what a bunch of assholes.
Right. You hungry?
Of course you're hungry, but you're not going to eat some slut's fucking egg. Would she rub it on a fucking pussy? This is fucking, you don't do that. You're just such an asshole.
Did you ever
at that
see her
age.
again?
No.
Did you ever see her again?
Yeah.
I don't think that.
And that girl is my wife.
We ran into a year later. Yes, how was that sandwich?
Yes.
I'd like to apologize to you.
Yes.
What happened to the egg whore?
Threw him around like an egg sandwich slut.
The general double standard in our sexual society.
Yeah, guys are stupid in front of their friends, I'm sure if it was just a one-on-one experience, you'd be like, thank you so much. You're so sweet.
Right.
But, one other guy in the room and you got to act like,
like the Castro brothers.
Right. Like the Castro brothers.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before. How are they acting like those brothers didn't know what was going on?
They had to.
I don't know, man.
How are Puerto Rican brothers? They're tight, right?
Yeah,
but the girls said that they had never seen them there. They did. The girls.
Oh, really?
The girls didn't see anybody.
How about the cops? How about the cops walking into a house that literally looked like Silence of the Lambs, just upstairs, and they're like, "Okay, what's in the basement? The boiler. You don't want to see it. All right, I'll see."
Yeah, all right, fuck it. Yeah. Well, I got a card right here. Miss Lippman. Fucking
unbelievable.
They walk in there.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Were they in the house at all?
The cops? Yeah, they were called like 20 times to the house.
They didn't go in, though.
Over 10 years.
They did. They went in a couple of times.
Yeah.
I read a report on the internet where they said they went in a couple of times.
It's got to be authentic. Yeah, they,
You should have heard some of the comments. They were teed off at the...
Were they?
Oh.
Teed off, yes. Yeah, how they walked in there and just got disturbance calls. And I guess somebody called because a girl holding a child knocked on a window once. And,
right.
And the cop said, it was a prank.
Right.
All this shit.
Somebody else had a leash and a chain in the yard.
Yeah, naked in the yard.
But then they came back. But in that neighborhood, too, first of all, the cops did a lousy job. But you know how many fucking dumb calls they probably get in the neighborhood every day?
Yeah, but if this is the neighborhood that fucking 3 girls disappeared from, perhaps.
Right. Well, it wasn't from the neighborhood,
be a little more attentive.
Yeah, it was like 5 miles away.
Yeah, it wasn't all that far.
You should know, Jimmy, you're the king of Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland does adore me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked going to Cleveland for the gigs.
Yeah.
The city itself leaves a little...
And the women. I do like the women in Cleveland.
Oh, lovely.
They're good girls. Boston girls, too. Philly girls can fucking go jump in the lake.
You don't like the Philly girl?
No.
They can kick rocks, in your opinion.
Yeah, they really can.
Yeah.
Fucking beat it. Fucking lead me on and give me nothing. Oh, they're the worst cock teasers alive.
But Jim, I almost feel like you're taking one example isolated over the past 15 years, and she represents all Philly girls.
I have about 1,600 names I can give you. Of fucking,
what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on over there?
What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? You want some
crying
water?
out loud. Jim wants a blowjob.
Yeah, you want some water?
Blowjob.
You want a blowjob?
I'm not freaking blowing you.
They're all full of shit. Anywhere from Philly to D.C., they're just fucking phony.
Yeah.
They
never gotten anything good in like
Nothing.
D.C. or anything?
Promises, and bullshit.
This is like the monologue, the internal monologue of one of those serial killer truckers. Anywhere from Philly to D.C. and the cops start to notice the geographical profiling. They're like, hey, right off 95 between Philly and D.C., there's been 5 murders.
Yeah, exactly. Nicknamed it the
Promises.
Yeah, with their tongues cut out, so they can never make another false promise.
Oh, promises.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
Strawberries and
oh my god,
he eats like he's in fucking Rome.
Right.
He needs like,
he's like one of those baby king, like the third, like the baby king of Nero or something.
Yeah, he's very healthy though. I heard his advice show yesterday. I was driving home.
Guys, without diet, it's all BS.
That's exactly what he did say.
So annoying.
Someone was calling saying that they do exercise and whatnot, but they're not losing as much weight as they wanted to. And Jimmy said it's not about the exercise; it's about the diet.
That's most of it.
Ooh, yeah, that's a breakthrough thought anyway. But
it really is.
Well, Carl, I didn't have to be original. I just had to give this young man some advice. He said to me, I want to know how you do it. How do you do it, Rube?
Jerry, a lot of people say, well, you're living proof that you're human. In fact, more so.
More so. You're famous. I guess you just got to, deal with it. Oh, I just love that.
That's okay, because I'm maybe twice as famous as you. Good, twice as many. How funny was Jerry Langford in that movie?
I loved Langford.
Irritated.
So was Hitler.
I'd like to look at all those movies of guys that really, because I heard he was like, what am I doing this movie? What is this not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same with like Burt Reynolds with Boogie Nights.
Burt Reynolds with Boogie Nights.
Yeah, he fired his agent and then he ended up winning an Academy Award. All like the guys who were older that didn't know what they were doing, but they went in and were brilliant.
Right. Yeah, Burt Reynolds, Boogie Nights. I'd rather, how about we do another Smokey and the Bandit?
Right.
That went good. How about another Hooper?
I guess it just goes to show that you can be a consummate professional. That's how good those guys are. Even though they're resisting, they show up on the set every day and do their job.
Well, we had Mark Wahlberg in, and he said that Burt Reynolds started doing the dialogue with an Irish accent the first day because he thought it was supposed to be the guy with an Irish accent.
What?
We had to tell him.
Did they just tell him, look, Burt, what are you doing?
This is not what you're supposed to be doing.
Stop it. Fucking read the lines like they're supposed to be read.
Yeah.
With this big toupee. He did have a giant toupee in that one.
You Twittered something about you and Conan having a beef, and it was this fighting Irish family.
Oh, yeah, the Joyces and the...
And I wound up watching all these documentaries on these bare-knuckle brawlers in Ireland. They're pretty fucking interesting, man.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah?
All they do is fight over some slight...
The Irish.
Well, they're tinkers. They're like gypsies. And you read the comments in the because it was like, I'll meet you in Longford. Now, you never showed up, Joe. And they just keep arguing, and then they beat the balls off each other.
Really?
But then the comments, you can tell they're the most hated people in Ireland, because underneath it's like, they're useless cunts. Hitler was right about killing gypsies. You should kill every fucking one. They do nothing. They add nothing to society. And it's like all these great comments, but just totally like Irish written so well, but just like a combination of cursing and like literary, just fucking... Just trashing these people.
Really?
Everybody hates their guts.
So they hate each other and everybody hates them.
Everybody hates them.
Why are they doing this?
No, they've been doing that for hundreds of years to settle interfamily beefs. They have two guys, the Joyce, McQuinn, McDonough, and there's all these different families, and they just have these big beefs, and some of them are really funny guys, but you can barely understand them.
What is that about?
Why do they
Irish?
hate each other?
And a lot of them, honestly, and I'm not just saying this to be inclusive to our the fill-in for Opie today, but a lot of them do look like Scorch.
Really?
Yes.
Do they?
Yeah, facially.
They have facially.
Look them up. There's just something about them.
Yeah,
this one guy was talking about how he keeps his fucking hands hard. He goes, I soaked them in...
Joe Joyce,
Joe Joyce. I soaked them in petrol for 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
He soaked his hands in gas for 20 minutes a day.
It's not even gas, petrol. You know, it's like cheap Eastern European knockoff shit.
Right,
probably.
yeah, very low octane, very high in fucking additives.
That's a fight.
His wife must have hated when his big fucking hard rock hands went into her pussy.
Oh, just burns her pussy.
Yeah.
They don't finger each other in Ireland. They just have regular sex.
Oh, you think?
Regular missionary position to have kids.
Yeah, I remember a friend of mine, as a little kid, went to Ireland, and he was like 10 to visit his relatives, and he came back and told us how he had to have these fights with all these little kids from this trailer, and he started describing tinkers, but we didn't know what it was, you know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
It's like one of those things that they're like, hey, Yank, come on, Yank, and they made him fight every day. And it was the same thing.
What a vacation. You're just getting fucking the shit beat out of you. That sounds horrible.
He was a wild kid anyway, so I'm sure.
Was he? Oh, okay. It does seem like if you go to Ireland, you're probably going to get in a fight. Like those, they like to mix it up.
Well, if you're in the bar the whole time, obviously something's going to happen.
Like the Donnybrook.
I always see every piece of footage of Ireland. I see it's fucking dismal out. The weather is cloudy. I have zero desire to go.
Like today.
Yeah, here in our own home.
Yes.
Well, I'm surprised that Jim is like a sunny day enthusiast. He's like, I don't want to go to that dismal weather.
Jim is. He smiles when he sees sunshine.
He's a goddamn. I didn't realize he was a fucking Brazilian supermodel that liked to lay in South Beach all day. I get the doldrums from some of that weather. What the fuck is this?
Well,
you don't go out before it's dark, do you? Like no, I'm a respectable comedian.
I just don't care for. I just don't care for overcast weather. It really dampens my mood.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, people they put those fucking lights on themselves. They look into a fucking light all winter long because they get seasonal depression.
I have seen
so they have to look into a light. I think our own Troy Quan right there, he has one.
Yeah,
and it's so your body and your eyes can see some type of what would be sunlight simulated.
I'm worried about all the other shit. You worried about this? What about pesticides?
I'll pour water on my strawberries.
Poured his water all over your strawberries.
Only because I knew if I reached for your coffee, which I wanted to do, and smashed it, you would have caught me too early.
Yes.
I had to go with what was available to my hands. Now Jim's moving his items away from me. Well, I told you, this creep started it. Many years ago, I was trying to have a lovely cup of tea at the Comedy Cellar, as I like to have, and so I go upstairs and I was like, they gave me mint tea instead of regular tea, you know? I don't like mint tea. Turns out to be they gave me regular tea. It was not the staff swallowed. I want to emphasize that.
Oh, no.
This asshole was chewing gum and stuck his gum in my fucking tea. I was drinking his goddamn gum, his gum juice.
Holy shit! You thought it was mint tea.
I was like, mint tea. I don't like this.
Minty,
he's sitting there smirking at the table. So ever since then, anytime he's at the table,
I got you twice.
Yeah,
and that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, and ever since then, literally, if he's at the table, even all these years later, you think somebody was mature adults, I carry my tea, any beverage I have, I carry him down with me.
Well, you should, yes.
Whatever.
He's going to fucking pervert it
ridiculous.
in some fashion. Wow. Were you grossed out with the thought? You know.
No, just one of those things. It was just infuriating.
It's in its mouth, and you know.
No, Anthony, you know what it is? You like certain comforts. That's all I'm saying.
Is that all you're saying? What can we look forward to in your
well, you're the only one that really understands what I'm trying to achieve.
I love it.
Oh, I know what you're trying to achieve.
No, you don't, Jim.
Maybe you meant me.
What's that?
Maybe you meant that I'm the only one who understands.
No, I meant Anthony's the only one.
What
do you think he's trying to achieve? Let's do a test.
What is he trying to achieve?
Colin's trying to achieve?
He is trying to rid the world of this ignorance and revisionist history that is going on, and using humor to get these points across instead of the doldrums of C-SPAN.
Thanks.
Thank you, of course.
What do you think, Jim?
It's very interesting.
Trying to do some fucking fun jokes.
Oh, I told you about that idiot Voss that time. Back in the early 90s. I know I've said this before, I'll say it again until the whole country understands. Voss just hated me. Because all these guys knew I was funny and Voss didn't get. And he would get. So one time I was on stage at Caroline's and I did something. But it was like almost like, I would go, this is like a poem, but it was like a comedy, but it wasn't a poem, you know. It was jokes.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. He comes up right after me. This is 1994 and goes, I don't, we didn't know each other barely. Just a little bit. Hey, I don't do poems. I do fucking jokes, folks.
Shit. Oh, shit.
Just sold me out.
Ew, did you fucking hate him right then and there?
I was like, who is this goddamn
this asshole?
Fucking mullet bastard. No, rat tail. He had a rat tail.
Yeah, rat tail.
Well, rat tails were big in 94.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not big, but they were. Yeah.
What the fuck? Why would he say that?
Son of a
Especially
bitch.
not knowing you.
Yeah, I mean, he knew me a little bit, but,
Not that well.
Just because he was feeling his oats, he was in Carolines.
Yeah.
It was like Voss is the one that broke it open in many ways for Norton and the rest of the Jersey hacks to actually work in New York.
Jersey hacks.
In that sense, you have to give him credit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bringing the Jersey hacks.
Yeah, I think Voss got there first. We went around the same time, though.
Yeah.
No, I remember it very vividly. It was Voss. Lewis loved Voss.
He did.
Voss probably got you in.
But I used to go to the comic strip, and me, you, Franchese, Florentine, and Eric McMahon would go out to eat at that place across the street from the strip. So that's fucking like 1995.
Jeez.
Million years ago, right? Million years ago, guys.
He used to call me Naughty Norton.
Oh.
Hello, Naughty.
Yeah.
That was you and
Because
Franchese.
you were naughty.
I was a naughty boy.
I was a naughty boy.
Yeah.
And you lived with Jim at the time?
I think that's before I lived with Jim.
I spoke to Battling Bob Lee. I'm walking on 46. Here's the problem with the world. I'm walking on 46th Street yesterday, going to an important publicity lunch at Joe Allen, top trendy restaurant with the AP. And I pass this theater on 46th Street. They had a bunch of shows over there. And I look, and it says, appearing only tonight in one of the theater shows, the Reverend Bob Levy.
Wow.
So I took a picture and sent it out. So the public knew what was going on the Broadway stage.
For one night
on
only.
the Great White Way. Bob Levy. He's like
Yeah.
a Broadway name now.
Yeah, right? Wow. For one night only. Carl, I got to ask you, what's your take on the Constitution in this day and age? A lot of people saying it's being trotted upon.
Well, I honestly feel like we should be having more constitutional conventions so that people can really discuss this kind of thing. I feel like it's not a serious discussion when it's just everybody putting everybody's just saying this, picking and choosing. Everyone's like, you need to have a serious conversation. And you're talking about, well, let's face it, the only thing you care about is the Second Amendment.
Well, I kind of like the first two.
No, you care about the second.
I like the second, but
why do you care about the first?
Well, that's what I do. It's kind of my job.
I'm saying, who's trotting on the First Amendment?
There are a lot of things that trot on my First Amendment rights, especially political correctness, more so than
infuriating.
To not have the ability. I will absolutely to not have the ability to address, especially racial issues in this country, without having the scarlet R put on your chest is a fucking embarrassment.
I'm tired of black people being called racist for addressing white issues. I agree with you.
Unbelievable.
It really is infuriating. I would really like to have more of a freedom to say things and have an open dialogue, because nothing gets accomplished unless you can really hash it out like that. But they're so afraid to just have an open discussion about race in this country.
Well, let's actually address very deeply in the show.
Good. I got to see it.
It's almost like you're quoting the show in many ways.
Wow.
Do you address the fact, too, with the
I was actually going to use Scarlet R. I have it written down, but now I'm afraid because
R.
He already
called.
Because I feel like
the Scarlet Letter.
Don't even feel.
Instead of an A, it's an R.
Don't even feel that way. You take it.
Yeah, Hester Prynne.
Somebody's doing a little reading on the old Stairmaster.
Now, do you mention the fact that in the Constitution, everybody complains like when you mention the guns.
Right.
And you say something about, well, when the Constitution was drafted, they didn't have fucking AR-15s or whatever it is they have. It was a different time.
Well, I certainly don't want to mention that because that would be,
And they say, well, different time. They still meant the same thing. But if you say, how can you listen to people who wrote the Constitution because they had slaves and they're talking about freedom, these same people will go, it was a different time. You have to allow that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I see it as there are certain things that you have to look at when they were keeping rights from people. That is what is considered wrong. Right. When they're respecting rights, because rights aren't given, they're there. They're your God-given rights. And when they're respecting those rights, that's a good thing. So with the Second Amendment, they're respecting your right to bear arms. As of being slave owners, they are taking away someone's rights. So you can make that distinction, Jim. They're not the same thing that you're really talking about.
But it's the overall point and the view of how we say that was the times.
Well, so we throw the entire document away because they were slave owners? Is that Is that smart?
I'm eating a strawberry.
He's got a very constitutional mustache made out of a napkin, Carl. You're looking very,
I come out.
Very constitutional.
The Constitution. But that's this little whatever this was here is exactly why the show now it's more important now than ever.
If you see one show
when I say now,
this year,
I only mean 5 weeks.
Right.
Because despite Jim's plans for me to tour all over the goddamn country.
Right, he has you everywhere.
I'm sick of this thing. I've been doing it a year. Great. 5 weeks and I want to fucking see it, make some goddamn money, get the fuck out.
Well, I want to go see it.
And, I have to make one more comment about that because a lot of people do bring up it was muskets back then. Yeah. They would never, have it with assault rifles and whatnot. Do you think when they wrote the Second Amendment and said you have the right to bear arms, that they weren't talking about the absolute top-of-the-line weaponry of their day? The musket? They didn't say, well, you have the right to bear this. It's not as good as our amazing assault musket. But so as time went on, you got better weaponry. And during the course of their own lives, they saw weaponry advance leaps and bounds. You thought they was just going to stop right there? They knew it was going to advance.
Personally, I don't think they saw the degeneration, the way society would degenerate into school shootings. I don't believe they saw that
coming.
From
what they've seen all over the globe back then, it's horrible.
Regardless of what they thought at that point, this is where we are now.
Right.
And we have to look at things and how they're affecting us now. And the point I'm making is simply, people are, and this is all of us, are selective when they look at something like, well, that was the times. Like, we say that at certain times when it suits the argument. But to say that was the times when they wrote about muskets, it's like, well, they meant it to continue. Well, then...
Given that that's what the times was, so we can move along.
Well, that's what the times...
that's all he wants.
That really is all I want, is
that's
that
all
one
he
point.
wants.
All he wants you to do is go, hey, you know what, that's an interesting point. And
Jim,
we fucking move along.
what an interesting point, and I got to agree with you on that one.
This is about states' rights versus federal rights.
Thank you, yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
And the show covers it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good.
I'm sitting here going, guys, just come to see the show. Then you can really make your arguments.
Yes, and you'll be informed.
Oh, you'll be totally informed.
Yeah. I don't like New York states' rights. I don't like what they've done with the Second Amendment as far as that goes.
But
overstepped their bounds, but it is their stupid right.
It's their right.
Each
state, it's the people.
Well, they're right. Yeah. The states' rights are limited by the Constitution.
Right.
So I think they're overstepping their boundaries in some respects as far as the Second Amendment goes. I really do.
You mean Mayor Bloomberg?
Yeah, and I think also that they're putting legislation in place that does nothing. That whole when Cuomo wrote into law that you have to have a magazine with 7 rounds capacity, 7 rounds, 7 bullets. Didn't he do enough research to know that they don't make 7-round mags for AR-15s and for a lot of handguns and stuff, that there's only a 5 and then a 10-round magazine? So then they're like, okay, we fucked that up. We didn't even know about magazines when we wrote a fucking law about it, but now we're allowed to use the 10 rounds. We'll leave you that. But you can only put in 7 bullets. What is that doing to protect anybody? Because obviously, if somebody wants to do bodily harm to someone and adhere to the 10-round magazine, they're certainly not going to adhere to the 7-round limit in the 10-round magazine. Meanwhile, I'm there loading 7 rounds into a 10-round mag because I want to, adhere to the rules.
Oh, now punishes
hopefully you're preparing lunch.
But it really does go, because now I'm guaranteed to be outgunned in at least the number of rounds I have available to protect myself.
Do you know for sure that muskets were the most powerful weapon back then? I was always wondering. I feel like everybody just says muskets because we're too lazy to Google it.
Well, there were cannons.
No, but I mean handguns.
I think there were handguns. They were like flintlock handguns, but nothing that really overstepped the musket to the point where it's like, well, we certainly don't want people having that.
What year was the Gatling gun invented?
That was the 1800s, early 1800s. Those are fun. Yeah, we'll take a break, and we got, of course...
is Martha here or no?
Is Martha here
yet?
We're
still waiting, okay.
Well, we got Alan Hunter and Martha Quinn will be joining us. Carl,
excuse me,
let's take a break?
Yeah, yes.
Is Jim intimately acquainted with Martha Quinn? Is Martha here?
No, I just
is Martha here?
Stop! You don't know her. Call her Miss Quinn.
Martha.
She's in the bathroom.
Oh, she's in the... Oh, man. a deuce? Or
She's taking a long one. It's kind of hot, actually.
Yeah.
We don't have to.
Wow. No, we'll do that.
Wait, now let me ask you a question, because this is a big question for me, and it caused a lot of contention last night. Where the fuck do you guys expect me to sit when all these other people are coming in?
Right where you are.
I'm leaving.
No.
Stay where you are.
Don't leave. Stay there.
Every time I try to move to the other thing, and that caused a lot of problems last week. You were here with Opie, Bill Burr, and Mark Cuban.
So don't move. You don't
move.
I don't want to be rude to the new guest.
No, I want you to stay right there. I want you to stay right there. They can sit over there.
Fine.
I like Colin right there.
Sam, get up.
This whole thing has a synergy to it.
Yes, you know these lovely lads and ladies from MTV.
Yeah.
You have a common background
some
here.
real knee slappers to tell.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'll tell you a good Martha Quinn one, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, when she comes
Wait,
We'll be
when she
right
gets
back.
in? Okay, nice. Oh,
Don't go anywhere.
You could.
Yes. Put the other chair back over there.
I got it.
Feel like I know you.
Call.
You guys at Rachel Ray, too.
Are you sure?
Oh, my goodness.
So we can tweet it?
Of course.
Look at this. It's like old home week here. Hi, Martha.
He told you that I got him his job.
Is that what happened? He was.
Everybody sit down.
He said there was a little. He said there was a little story he had with Martha.
Colin, you did say.
Sit over there. Sit over there. Run the board, Call. Run the board, Call. There you go. Take a seat.
Yeah.
Get the.
Are we actually on?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I can't believe I kicked Colin out of his chair.
No. He's got the helm now. He's got the Kirk chair right now.
He's a god
He's in
to me,
charge.
as you guys are.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness! Please.
I'm telling you.
We
took pictures here yesterday.
Yes,
and
we did.
I was a little nervous. I had sweaty palms.
Please, I'm freaking thrilled to have you guys
tweeted
here.
it out.
Of course, Alan and Martha.
Alan Hunter, Martha Quinn.
What a great. This is great. I've wanted to talk to you guys for so long, 30
Hey,
years.
I come up here every so often. Goodwin's here all the time, and I come and wander the halls looking for a show to get on.
This is
I
it.
work here, and I look through the curtains and I wave.
Hey,
We have an
anybody
open-
want a VJ?
Yeah.
Anybody want one?
We have an
I
open
just
door
want you to know
policy.
that we're gonna. Since I feel I can say this here.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I better.
Oh, you can say it. Go ahead.
Please.
Oh,
gonna
Martha,
say
go
the
ahead.
F word?
Let me think about it.
You're gonna think about it?
It's I was just saying to Martha and Alan in the hallway, the way it's written is really great because it's like it's like whatever subject they're covering, you have four different, you have Alan, Mark, then you have Nina, then Martha, and all four of them talking about the same thing, but it's done in such quick blurbs and in their own words. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's an
For the New
oral
York Times
history.
book review, jerk off.
What's that?
Nothing. I didn't like the way you were like, it's interesting. It's really great the way it's written.
Well,
No,
Colin,
yeah, he says, I really
an-
like the style of the fonts.
Yeah, as an
too.
author, I felt qualified to comment on the way something was written. And I do think it was very well done because it's tough to pull this off, as I've said on many occasions.
Basically, what I think you're saying is we are so fascinating just in our own words.
Yes,
you are.
We did not need any embellishment.
Well, I got to tell you, that was not my approach initially. I mean, I wanted the writer to write narrative. We would interview long sessions into the night with a glass of Pinot Noir, and then he would translate it into poetry.
Right.
Instead, it's like, no, we're just going to translate and transcribe what you say.
It's going to be like court
history.
documents.
Oh, yeah.
Just one after
and
another.
then I said, hello, Dave, can I have some more Coke? No, man.
Who are you asking Coke from?
Dave Kendall.
Oh, no, that's not the we're talking about.
Not Dave. Not Dave. He's doing a travel show in Taiwan or something.
What?
Yes, I saw it online. He's like, all right, now an amazing little junket we're going to take to the worm farms of Thailand.
That sounds fascinating.
Yeah, it is Thailand.
I would
Anyway,
watch that.
David Lee Roth, of course.
Yes,
we got
yes.
stories.
What other Dave? You're
Dave.
a pal. Oh, my God. You guys, were you so stoked?
We had Dave here. Yeah, he was great. He's
was
just
awesome.
Really funny. Always has been. I remember there's a picture in the book actually of you and David Lee Roth and Martha.
There is?
Yeah. I guess you must have spoken with him a few times back in
Spoken with him.
Yes, spoken.
I'm pretty sure.
No, look at the picture, and what do you notice? Like, can you?
For the folks at home,
not just a Boy Scout shirt, but not like a Boy Scout shirt, like jauntily open.
Right.
Boy Scout shirt, button to the top,
right.
with a tie. With a tie. I literally looked like a Boy Scout.
Yeah. We call that a chastity belt.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Wow.
I thought that was cute.
Well, Martha, if you want to, we can get into
that was cute.
The many different personalities of each VJ, which made it so unique and fun to watch back then. But you definitely were the cute girl next door, but very like proper. It didn't delve into anything the slightest bit dirty. As
Well, I went on to be a Brady.
Yes.
So it all works out.
That is true.
She was setting her career up at MTV, and it had to be clean.
Yeah. Squeaky
Nice
clean. Martha would come on. Yeah, because I remember all the clothes that you wear, very
But let me tell you, look, so
that was a period of time when like Preppy was happening, and it did make me feel better to see a People magazine cover from the 80s of Jodie Foster, and it said like hot. And she was wearing mom jeans, a button-up shirt, and like an ascot or something. And I was
ascot.
like, see, it wasn't just me. That's what was happening. And they said hot.
But it worked, yeah.
I'm sorry. The most disastrous interview, and there's a photo of Mark talking to Bowie. Was he was really bad?
Well, it was a good interview, but Bowie decided to bring up the black issue of, why aren't there any black artists on MTV?
Oh, okay.
And Mark sort of got blindsided as well as he handled the response.
Yeah.
It was right before Jackson came on, before Beat It, before Billie Jean came on.
Right.
Because we were playing black artists, but, Mark's description was accurate. We were an AOR station, basically, playing rock and roll.
Right,
we didn't play
right.
pop. And when Michael came along, it was a real chin scratcher for the higher ups, but it totally made sense that was a great song, and it was time to widen the musical parameters of MTV and bring on Billie Jean.
Yeah.
You guys had plenty of soul artists. What about the Thompson Twins?
Yeah. Well, Mark's point and other people's point was you're playing Culture Club. That ain't rock and roll. So why wouldn't you play pop? But we had Garland Jeffries and Gary U.S. Bonds and Joan Armatrading. We had black artists.
Yeah.
Who just played rock and roll.
The contrasting viewpoint to that is you could have asked Frankie Crocker, is WBLS playing AC/DC?
Right.
So there's two sides to that.
That's the
story.
spirit,
There's
Martha.
a format.
Let them have it.
That was
Let
good.
them have it. Exactly.
But we used to have to be the faces of the channel and talk these politics, and now we don't.
Yeah, that's true. We were watching some earlier clips. I guess you were doing a news segment, music news before videos and stuff. And yeah, it was you were all over with a lot of little information tidbits, and you don't really get that anymore. Although, is there really a need for it anymore with us being inundated with the news 24 hours a day?
Do people want to hear people yapping in between songs? I don't think so. If I want to shuffle through my Spotify or listen to Sirius.
You were holding a script. It was really funny to see. It's like things have changed so much. You were like, and you look down at your script and it's in your back pocket. It was like
folded up.
You were in the very early days. We did get a teleprompter eventually,
but it was just funny to see. You forgot, like that's only 30 years ago, and man, back then there was nothing digital.
No cell phones.
And you know what's funny? I think television has kind of gone back to that, more of the just off the cuff reality, like where we started. Doing just that, like, oh, what are we doing? It's come full circle to that.
We were told to break. We weren't told to break the mold. There was no mold, really. I mean, all the people working on the show, sans the crew guys, the IATSE, union guys who did the props and stuff and ran the cameras. They knew what they were doing, but everybody else was just kids. Producers didn't know how to produce a TV show, so we were making this crap up all along, and I certainly didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Pretty much everything Colin does is because of us. We paved the way for Colin.
It's true.
It's really
And MTV still has a lot of good news people. What about Farrah Abraham?
Yeah, well, I like Kennedy.
Stuff.
Yes.
Is she a news person?
She's making
she was
the
on
news.
MTV.
Tabitha
Did you get
Soren
Colin
was
his
my.
gig? Did you get Colin his gig?
No. People have asked me that because somehow that's one of those things. It floats around that we're brother and sister.
Oh, right. Quinn.
Yeah.
Do you know how dumb I am? I just realized that you both have the same last name.
Wow.
I wasn't even putting two and two together that you're the same
Why
last
did you
name.
say, did you get Colin his kid?
She was joking when she came in.
I joked
Oh.
When
Nepotism.
She came in.
Yeah.
No,
You didn't realize
I used to watch you in the clubs up here. I was a comedy whore. Or a pimp. I don't know which. But I had a good friend here, Tom, older guy, Tom, comedian.
Papa?
Wait a minute.
Tom, I think he died not long ago.
Big
Tom,
Yes.
Papa Tom. But he would, you'll get his name in a minute, but he would take me to the Improv and I would see Larry David. Tom Curley. I would see Larry David implode on stage.
Yep.
This was pre
Yes.
his fame. And he would sit at the Improv on a Tuesday night and berate the audience.
That's right.
4 of them.
Right.
Yeah, fuck you. What are you, that's funny. You just get out of here. Tom would go, okay, watch him. He's really going to go for it now. But I would do that in my off hours and I would see you. And then when you got on MTV, I said, man, you're big now.
Colin Quinn on Remote Control, of course.
cool.
With Ken Ober and
Adam Sandler.
Adam
Oh, my
Sandler
God.
on there. Yeah.
What a petri dish.
Now Ken
what
Ober.
Quizmaster of 72, what we go up late, and I used to smoke the first season. I smoked cigarettes on the air.
That's right, you did.
I used to chain smoke on the show.
That was PC.
And then they told me to stop. Then right after that,
Oh, they
I'm
did?
so sad
Why?
because. Well,
Viacom cleaned their
felt
act
bad
up.
because you know how many kids came up to me. I started smoking because of you.
Are you kidding?
Horrible.
But then Leary came in after you were there, and he really brought the whole smoking thing back, I guess.
he sure did.
Yes, he did.
LA
sneakers.
MTV
it's
television that kills you. How anarchic is that? We felt it was all squeaky clean at the time we were starting to leave because they were, 84, 85, 86. They really started making money.
Yeah.
Everybody was paying attention. The record companies were in bed with them. And we started getting coaches. They sent us to a communication coach.
Oh, boy.
About 85, was it? I mean, we started feeling the pressure from the corporate guys. We started getting the kind of more official
But
memo.
this was a coach who also coached like George Bush.
Dan Rather.
Yes,
So we go to
this
the
is
Upper
cutting
East
edge.
Side. And I get
Here's the new one from Kajagoogoo.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute, what?
Well, we bring in an air check and plop it in front of the lady, and she would stare at it. She was like 60 years old. Great gal, good communicator.
My God.
And I would go, all right. That was, it was Kajagoogoo. Dig it. All right. No sentences. I didn't complete a sentence. She says, what were you trying to communicate there? I don't know. I dug the song. She goes, you need to complete your sentence.
No, I don't, by the way.
So then, I don't know.
What years were you guys there from?
81 was the beginning, and we all left kind of within a year period. So 6 years for me, 5.5 for you.
I kind of had 2 incarnations. I had my first incarnation and my second incarnation, which is when I came in contact with you and Ken. And so I kind of had 2 generations there.
Yeah, they knew they made a mistake with you, and then they wanted you back. Me, it was okay if I said, I'm out here.
Oh, boy.
I had a couple of years left on my contract. Goodman and I looked at each other after Martha went. We said, oh, my God, Martha's gone. We better leave now while the leaving is good, while we're leaving with our own walkers. And we said we can't be a VJ forever. And we took off to L.A., to stand in the unemployment line, basically.
What happened when you left? Did you think like, okay, I'm going to do this and this,
Yes.
and then at what point did you go like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have left?
Well,
so fast?
I had a job with Disney to do a new video show. I had that before I left MTV, and we were all stoked. I was going to do something called Videopolis. It was a little embarrassing, I'll say, to come from MTV, which was kind of, a little cutting edge and irreverent. I'm sitting there at Disneyland doing my kind of audition, but it was like a pre-thing. And I had now a whole new production crew, and I'm used to doing it my way. Mm-hmm. I didn't. We weren't playing the F-bomb all over the place, but I was irreverent. Hey, give me those cue cards, And I'm like, no, the cue cards need to stay over there. I was like, oh no! And Mickey was wandering around, and I was introducing, a lot of the same videos we played on MTV. But I was thinking, okay, I'm getting paid. I got to have a transitional thing here. VJ to actor, maybe it goes through Anaheim. But the day I went to the wardrobe fitting, my manager called up and said, don't go to the fitting. Jeffrey Katzenberg doesn't want you.
Wow.
Yeah, he just got wind that an MTV guy was going to be the Videopolis host and said, no, I'm not having MTV at Disney. So I went and learned how to play golf in L.A. You know that, don't
But
you?
you said something key, Al, when you said, okay, I'm getting paid. Like at MTV, it was the greatest job in the world. You're like, I can't believe they're paying me. And then when you hit the real world and you start to get subsequent jobs, you go, well, okay, I'm getting paid.
I'm getting paid. Yeah.
And better, getting paid better.
Oh
too.
yeah, MTV's the cheapest place ever.
Oh,
But
man.
it's
You
the
know what I made
greatest
on
place
remote
ever.
control? Not that I was the lead, but I was the other guy. $100 a show.
Wow.
The cheapest.
You got $100 a show.
Yeah.
Wow. Colin, they made up for it for literally being the center of the universe for
Yes,
a
they
period
did.
of time.
And
So
there is
that's what I
equity.
mean.
There is equity in enjoying where you are.
Yeah.
There's a certain
Especially
amount
when
of-
you're young and
Right,
This is
right,
why
right.
Martha's so good, because she's putting a very positive, happy spin on it.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
genuinely bitter, and you want to burn the
He's
building down.
not.
And she's like, you know what? There was a lot of laughs to be had, guys.
Hey, we had some fun.
What about the fact that Anthony, who we think of as this man on a constant tirade, goes, there is equity in being happy where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you know?
Biting the hand that feeds him every day.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
There's equity in being happy where you are. I think he's in love with Martha, and he's just flirting with her.
Yeah.
Who isn't?
This is not Anthony. We don't know who this person who showed up right now is. I've never met him.
Oh, you people. No,
We're going to say some affirmations in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you leave, by the way?
Well, the first time I left, because the weirdest thing happened, the script stopped showing up at my house. And I was like, wow, I think
Who's
I
this, Julie
should.
Brown?
I used to have nightmares
shit.
that, I would go to an MTV party and I would see JJ and Mark and Al over with lights and producers, and there's lots of people around, but nobody was talking to me and I couldn't get to them. And I'd be like, oh my God. And I'd wake up and I go, oh shit, it really did happen. I did get let go from MTV. But, so the first time, they just didn't pick up my contract. And then like a year and a half later, they invited me back, which was great. It's like having your ex-boyfriend go, hey, you know what, baby? I do want you back. And that felt really good.
yeah.
But that time around,
And it was
I
for
knew,
the money
okay,
the second time.
sun is temporary. The first time around, I thought I would be there forever.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
second time around, I was like, yeah, we'll see how long.
I'll milk
How
this
long was
as long
this?
as we can.
Well, that's when I met Ken and Colin and the whole remote control.
Who knew
Steve
when
Treakus.
who knew when we were doing that show? That Iron Maiden shirt reminds me. There was a lonely boy under a house in New Jersey with a Dokken t-shirt playing Monster Rain.
Little Jimmy.
Yes.
Jimmy was the prototypical MTV watcher, I bet.
Yeah.
What's
You could just the thing is, you could watch it for hours and hours on end. People
Yeah,
just
it was so
sat
new.
there
It was nothing like
watching
addictive,
because it was brand new. It seemed like people on TV were professional people. You turned on TV and there was somebody that obviously you didn't know people like that. You didn't. It was actors and TV. And then MTV, you guys were like, oh, I think I go to school with that guy and stuff.
Well,
it was very relatable.
people used to come up to us all the time and go instead of oh, excuse me, Miss Quinn, be like, hey, Martha, I don't like that haircut. Can I get some respect a little bit?
The familiarity was it was like we were ubiquitous for one. We were in everybody's life all the time. We were the backdrop and the wallpaper, and everybody had it on all the time. So the familiarity with people was kind of scary. You did want a little awe and respect.
Yeah, you guys
I'm
are
like Tom Cruise, but I'd like a little fainting here instead.
You guys are at parties. Like when you had a party at your house, you just turned on MTV in the background and left that on.
Look,
Were there a lot of girls to be had? Sorry, Aunt. Were there a lot of girls to be had?
There were, had I not been happily married.
You were married at that time?
At the time I was married.
Boom.
I had a little backwards. I had it a little backwards. Later in my life, I decided to disrupt everything and change and become a single guy again. And my friends are like, what? You got divorced. You went through MTV.
Oh, man.
You made it through that period. But, yeah, there were close scrapes with all of us. I think we detailed a few of them in the book.
In the book, of course.
So let me say, it's called The Unplugged Adventures of MTV's First Wave. It's called VJ, and it's got the picture of all five of you, of course, with JJ, and you dedicated the book to JJ. And it's really, really well done. I'm just flipping through it because, of course, we got it 10 minutes before you walked in. They handed us the book because that's the way to prepare
Well, it's
for an
that
interview.
easy a beach read.
Yes.
It's a real beach read.
Suck this down. They'll be in 3 minutes.
The publisher told me not to say that, by the way. Beach read. It's a serious examination of the culture of the 80s and the complex landscape of the Reagan era.
Yeah, I
Something
left
like
it
that.
next to the toilet.
You know what? A great toilet read is a compliment. It's not an insult. I do my best reading on the bowl, and it's like this one, because there's little short segments of every one of them saying something, is extremely comfortable to read. You don't need 4 hours set aside.
I'm with you. And
You know
I
what I
read
mean?
like 2 pages a night on any book. I'm a slow
that
reader.
as a blurb? Can we pull that? I want to
Absolutely. It's a
great
transcribe
blurb.
that because that would be a great review.
Absolutely. I'll send a picture picture of me holding it up, going with my thumbs up, going, "It's a 2-flusher."
The second printing.
Oh my God, Martha, were you in any kind of relationships during that time, early on at MTV?
Pretty much. When I first started MTV, I still had my high school boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that was early on.
Now, what was
life.
he thinking? Like, the jealousy must have been crazy because guys were really kind of
He started
in love
sending
with you.
flowers big time then. Hey, Martha.
No, I don't know. And then I always sort of
I don't remember this
I'm one of
boyfriend
those
at all.
girls-
He never showed up around. You never brought him down.
Nina met him.
Really? I never
But
saw him.
he disappeared pretty quickly. But
Yeah.
Can I ask you, who was the most tempting rock star to hit on you? There had to be one, or maybe you hooked up with somebody.
Can I show you this Boy Scout shirt thing
Was it
again?
him?
No, I'm just saying that, you know.
Not a lot of.
Well,
She had
here's
so
the
many.
thing.
She had so many
Colin will
suitors, and most of them were in
attest
Middle America, who would come up to me and go, "Martha Hunter, Martha, yeah." I go,
Oh, yeah,
yes,
right,
that's
right.
me.
Yeah,
And they'd
Mark
say,
Hunter.
"What's that Martha Quinn like?" Oh, I want to do her. I mean,
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's like, what happened to a little respect here? But
yeah, exactly.
all I did was answer questions
what
about
happened to
you.
a little respect is all I'm
But there
asking.
were. Was it hard
the
to cultivate any kind of relationship with somebody outside of there when you were kind of you're a very public person?
Not really. No, it wasn't really. I mean, I don't really.
You had a private
understand
life.
your
You had a
question.
private
Was it
life.
No, I
hard
just
for
mean
me
like
to-
as far as relationship. Did you have any serious boyfriends during that time?
I'm one of those girls who I kind of always have, you know, a serious boyfriend. I'm not really the dating type, really.
right.
Serial boyfriends. I'm telling you, she
ultimately-
hops her.
She
Look,
went
she
out
had a
with
crush
Mike
on
from
me.
Mike and
She had a crush on
Mechanics.
Mark. She had a crush on David Lee Roth.
Yeah, basically, you see the whole book is like, I used to imagine I was Mrs. Rick Springfield, and then later, I used to imagine I was Mrs. Michael Jackson, then later, I used to imagine I was Mrs. David Lee Roth.
Oh, okay.
But,
I had a sign behind her head saying, "She'll break your heart. Watch out. Leave her
well,
alone."
luckily, I am now Mrs. Jordan Tarlow, so
I know,
I did
but
achieve my dream.
The funny thing is that we all became brother and sisters,
Yeah.
brothers and sisters. I mean, that's how we, we had one small dressing room in the beginning down in Hell's Kitchen. It was a crappy little studio. So the guys and the girls all had to dress together. So in the beginning, there was Nina and Martha and fantasies, but then it quickly became,
Whoa, you didn't know about that, did you?
Interesting.
Mother's like,
of course, there was a little heat there, no doubt, But then one day, 2-3 years later, she shows up on the set with Steve Bader.
oh man.
You're
Yeah.
from Palooza New Church.
Yeah, so it's like, that's her type? Really?
Yeah.
We love Steve. He's a great guy.
He was a great guy.
But, you like the roadie types, though. You like
is a
those
little wild.
lanky, wiry,
Yeah,
kind of
lanky,
spooky,
wiry, no pigment.
scary types. And that's the
Gigi
sweetheart
Allen,
of
right?
America.
Steve was the best relationship I ever had because through Steve, I met my husband via Brett Gurewitz in Bad Religion. That's how it all worked out. So it's funny how that happened.
Great picture of you and Ozzy, too. Great picture of Martha and Ozzy from, what's that, from 83?
I know, he's like,
84.
And did you just come onto the set? Because you didn't interview him. That was my interview, I
I
think.
think
People are always photobombing our interviews,
Yes,
you
look
know?
at that, right?
Pissed me off because I interviewed Ozzy, and that was,
I'm sure Ozzy didn't only come in one time, Al. You
Man,
might have
good
interviewed
point.
him once,
That's
and then I
true.
might have interviewed him.
Well,
He's not
Mark
sole
cops the
property of
Madonna
Alan
interview like
Hunter.
he did the only Madonna interview, and I was the first one to interview her at the Limelight here. Oh. And then I called her fleshy in some interview, and Daily News ran that a couple of weeks ago.
Shit.
And they said, VJ calls Madonna fleshy. That was the headline in the Post. And I thought I'm going to get my legs capped.
But then how did you handle that, Al?
I said it again and again.
Then he said it again on the Today
I said it
Show.
on the Today Show. Yeah,
Why
that's
did-
pretty
Why did Bob Dylan fly you to Ireland?
Look at me. How cute am I?
I mean, it was for that reason. Okay.
Look at me, how cute am I?
No, fair
He
enough.
said it was a party.
Did you hook up with him? No. Did he try?
No, not at all. This is a very historic picture because this is the first time that Bob Dylan and Bono were ever photographed together, and I'm literally photobombing it.
Well, it's amazing. There's an amazing photo of Bono. He's got like a great Clockwork Orange hat.
Yes.
And
He looks like an Amish man.
yeah, and Bob Dylan and Martha, and you're looking the wrong way. But it's still kind of a
What?
great picture. That they're looking into the camera and you're looking off at someone. Who's more interesting that way than Bono and Bob Dylan? I would love to know who's standing off to the
I
side.
will tell you who was there. And I used to have a picture of it and I lost it and I'm so mad at myself. Van Morrison was there at the same time and I had a picture of me, Bono, Bob, and Van Morrison and I don't know where it went. Sorry.
It's even better than the one that's in there.
Imagine in your mind Van Morrison.
Yeah.
So are you saying that there's a lot of good pictures in VJ, The Unplugged Adventures of MTV?
Yes, there really are.
Yes.
Are you guys still doing signings, by the way?
Yes. Tonight we're going to be down at the Apple Store in Soho. We got some event down there, and then we're going to be in Paramus, New Jersey tomorrow.
Nice.
It's a little rough on Al and I.
What
because we're kind of
germaphobes.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't like the whole shaking hands?
Oh.
Somebody yesterday
give hugs and tongue.
No!
I'm terrible.
Had to say excuse me and run to the restroom.
Of course.
I'm so worried.
They're filthy.
Do you not like shaking? I get a really weird, not a rude vibe, just like we shook hands, I think, the other day when I saw you. And I sensed that if I had just waved from across the room, you would have been just as comfortable.
Yeah. You didn't see her squeegee her fingers with that. Hand
No, it's okay.
motion.
I understand.
Don't take it
Kelly's
personal.
got the best move. He comes up and he like elbow bumps
That's
you, and
horrendous.
he says, and he says, I have a cold, so I don't want to get you
See,
sick.
that's
But see,
perfect.
what I think is he doesn't have a cold.
No, he
Right.
doesn't.
He just doesn't want to shake hands.
Kid Kelly.
He's
Yep.
here on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tell him to
Yes.
fucking relax. He's going to use so much Purell that he's going to start to get warts on his fingers because the Purell erodes your natural ability to fight. I don't like a whole lot of germs.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to talk about germs.
I think it
Tom.
moves the germs around.
Yeah.
Did, Martha, did you have a problem with
I just wanted to get back to Al talking about the book signings, which
Sure.
I did rudely interrupt.
I'm
signings.
done. Paramus, Apple Store tonight, and then after this book tour, who knows where else we'll go? As you guys know, who've written books, you got to sell some more books. Then maybe we'll hit L.A.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be nice.
Or I don't know, but publishing is a tight business. The margins are low, and we went out to eat the other night, and the publishers are like, "Hey, it's a food and beverage while you guys are here is on us." And I'm thinking, is it like the record business where they take it out of your royalties? Or your
Yeah,
profits?
yeah.
You think
Yeah.
that's happening? I don't know.
Probably.
No, I think
'Cause we went to the sushi joint for like $5 million the other night. It's all the publishers.
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm doing the same trap that musicians have done since time began. Yeah, it's all the record company, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big vial of Coke. They bought it.
They bought it.
And our studio session was $500 million. Oh, no. So we're going lean and mean.
Yeah.
You did bring us breakfast. Your nice
know,
intro
very
and got us
yeah,
breakfast.
yeah.
Oh, good.
So is that on you guys?
Totally on the house.
This
is
great.
on us.
You got
Absolutely.
A good
He
Thursday
kind
budget.
of hesitated. It's like,
Well, no,
okay,
because
now
I'm
you
trying to
said it
think
on
like
the air.
Sirius XM, they're kind of cheap.
We were last minute guys. We were last minute guests.
Yeah, well,
We're happy you're
definitely
in,
want to have you in. Definitely.
How did I have to ask too about JJ? How did JJ die? I mean, I remember when it happened. I just don't remember how.
Yeah, as Mark says, he had a bad ticker. He had like triple bypass surgery. I don't know how many years ago, early 2000s, I guess. But so he was a big-hearted guy with a tough heart. He died of a heart attack basically on the highway, pulled over in Ventura in the valley, I guess.
No, he was in Hollywood.
How
don't know,
wrong
you
can I
always
get this
think that.
story? I said
He's in
he died of a
Hollywood.
heart attack on the 405 and ran into 50 people, but that's not the story. He pulled over on the side of the road in his Corvette so that he wouldn't run into anybody else, and he died on the side of the road.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was 2004. That was a shocker for sure, and we were talking about his funeral the other day in some cheesy place on La Brea. Big funeral, tacky funeral home, and it was packed with all of these eccentric people. JJ had a closet full of life. I mean, there's so much we didn't know about him, and every day he'd have a different tale about Iwo Jima and going to the club last night. But people would always show up in the streets. Hey, I'm JJ Jackson's friend. He'd go, really? You are? He had just an amazing caterer of friends, from stars like Rod Stewart to just the person who was at his pharmacy. But they all showed up at the funeral, including Rod Stewart in the back, weeping.
Wow.
And it was a pretty phenomenal moment. Like, our friend was well loved.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
last time I saw Colin was at Ken's funeral.
Yeah.
That was the saddest situation. There was a minute there when it was coming out, oh, it's a hoax. And I called Ken's cell phone and I said, you better call me back,
Whoa.
you bastard. You better call me back.
Yes,
And
I remember
then-
that.
That was so shocking.
Why did you think it was a hoax? What happened?
Because
People
you
saw
know
on the
how
internet
it
was saying
just on the internet it started to come out Ken Ober's dead, and then it came out kind of right after, oh, it's a hoax, and I was like, Oh, okay. Because, that happens. You're not familiar with that?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I know that the lies happen. Yeah.
So that's what it came
I heard
out
about
that
you
it
this morning.
seemed like it was.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, you better call me back, you bastard. Call me back right now. And then, of course, it turned out to be true. And it was really, super shocking.
Yeah.
It was very shocking. I didn't talk to Colin, though, because he was up on stage surrounded by superstars, so I just snuck out the back.
Oh, call.
Yeah, exactly.
Man
Posse.
about town.
The 80s rock stars, have you guys met Simply Red's son?
Sam.
Speaking of the 80s, I have to go prep for the VJ Big 40 Countdown.
Yes.
And Friday night, 9 o'clock East, 6 o'clock West.
Don't got to tell me. I listen.
We get humbled every day, don't we? I mean, the story of our lives at MTV was humility. Again, it was the MTV thing. It was the big corporate MTV thing.
But you have to. Can I just say one thing? Do you guys agree with this? Even though people looked at at that time being on MTV, and even when I was there, people would almost make no differential between Bruce Springsteen and you, because there weren't that many stars. So people would be like, you were like as big, you know what I mean, in a certain way. Even though people were familiar, when I was there, people would treat you like you were like as famous as the people in videos.
God, if only we had Twitter back then, we would have so many followers.
Oh, man.
We'd have millions.
Right?
Yeah.
We'd be there. We know it's hard for me to concur because I'll lose my humility if I do. But, there was a certain sort of parody there. It made it easier to interview these people when they'd come into the studios. Hey, Martha, how you doing? It's like, whoa. I remember coming in to see Robert Plant after JJ interviewed him. And there was a large entourage. The whole office came down to the studio, of course, when there was somebody big and shoved us out of the way. But Robert was there, and I decided to go in and just make this funny little bowing motion on my knees. And I bowed down, Sir Robert Plant, and he goes, "Arise, Sir Alan." And I was like, "Oh,
the guy knows my name. Holy shit!"
These guys were watching, in their hotel rooms on tour.
Yes, exactly.
Even Springsteen, because this phenomenon
Everyone
was amazing. So they knew us all.
Man, Martha's got to go. Obviously, we want to give the book a big plug.
We have to break anyway, and we have
VJ, the Unplugged Adventures of MTV's First Wave. It's out there in what you call your bookstores.
Yeah, or online somewhere.
Online,
you can probably order it
course.
online.
You can download it.
Oh, you can download the Kindle version.
Go for it.
It's crazy, the future.
Well, I appreciate you guys having us on. I mean, I love this show.
Love having
you guys. Colin.
I'll see you guys over at Rachel Ray.
Yes, going to Rachel Ray.
All right, look at you guys.
Jot down with us.
I'm going to whip up some nice recipes.
Some free sayings.
Yeah.
And
some moose.
The signing is tonight
at the Apple Store.
Appearance
Store.
tonight.
Soho. Apple Store, Soho. Tomorrow, Paramus, New Jersey, Barnes & Noble. Around 6 o'clock.
Great. Alan, Martha, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Man,
We'll be right back.
Great.
Fun.
Love it.